one very simple last one. That's at 1 minute. That means time is over.
This is the show called Last Phone Standing.
There are two questions. One of them will get answered today, one will never get answered. Question number one, the one that will never get answered, is why do we all clap before the show starts? The question that will get answered is which is the last phone standing. Welcome to a very special show, The Last Phone Standing, a much awaited show where we are actually going to declare today, irrespective of price, which is the best phone of 2018. Many contenders, we've brought it down to these, and these are your top 5.
The contenders for the Last Phone Standing 2018 above 20K are Google Pixel 3 XL, iPhone XS Max, Huawei Mate 20 Pro, OnePlus 6T, Samsung Note 9. The panelists will score the smartphones based on the following criteria: design, hardware, uniqueness, brand value, and value for money. Audience votes will be counted as well.
So from these 5, now we'll declare a final winner. Remember, the format is very simple. 5 phones, these are your top 5 phones of 2018. We've got a fantastic panel out here. Each of them will represent or talk about one phone, the one that they think should be the last phone standing. The rest of the panel will question them, the audience will question them, we'll all vote, and finally we'll have our result. A lot of subcategories also, including what we've introduced this time, a mid-priced winner. That really has been the market on fire. Let's start off with the first phone. And coming up to tell us all about it is Samir Meetha with the Google Pixel 3 XL.
So the Pixel 3 XL is, of course, Google's flagship phone, and apart from coming with flagship hardware, there are a couple of areas where this phone has absolutely nailed it, and we're not going to use performance as one of them because flagship hardware, flagship performance. The first and most important is, of course, the camera, both the back and the front. The back camera is an improvement over what Google did last year, the Pixel 2, especially with something like night sight, where low light photography is taken to a whole new level. The front has 2 cameras, this time for the wide angle selfie. The second, of course, and this is for those of you that love the notch or hate the notch, you have 2 options. You have the XL with the notch, and if you don't like it, you have the smaller one without the notch. The color variants are fantastic. It just works well overall, and this might be a very small thing, but it matters for a lot of you that use the vibration feedback while typing. They have tweaked it, and it is really good.
All right, question from the panel.
Samir, I have 2 spec-related issues with the Google Pixel 3, and that is the fact that it's the only flagship phone on the Android side that comes with 4 gigs of RAM, whereas now we have phones with 10 GB of RAM. That's one, and the only mainstream phone which is not dual SIM. So do you think both of these aspects put together in some way sort of sour the deal for people?
So the dual SIM factor is actually a preference of choice, and I'm not saying this because I'm defending this phone, but I actually prefer a single SIM phone for, you know, if you have 2 SIMs in the same phone, there's battery consumption, there's network, there's switching, there are a lot of problems sometimes, even if when I use a device like, let's say, the OnePlus 6T, between switching networks, there was a problem. Single SIM is just an old school convenience, and it is for those that are still looking for a single SIM phone. Yes, dual SIM has taken the game to having to carry 2 phones without carrying 2 phones, but I'm still, like, I'm personally a single SIM guy still, so that works for me. And as far as RAM is concerned, when was the last time you saw a phone actually use that much of RAM, and which company actually did give you that real world logic that, oh, it is going? Because from gaming to using the camera to any device that needs a spike in RAM, the bus speed is good enough to get it done. So it's just RAM, according to me, in specs is more of a gimmick until someone can actually use more than 1 or 2 apps to prove that 6, 8, 10 GB is really required.
Panel, please start voting while I take an audience vote. Everyone to put their little placards up at the same time. If the Google Pixel 3 XL is the last phone standing, best phone of 2018, show me a green, otherwise red, now. And just keep them there. Okay, so here is a pretty dismal picture. I'd say about 20% here. I'd say about 25% there. So 23 to the Google Pixel 3 XL, as told to us by Samir. Thank you very much, Samir. Thank you. And of course, the next person coming up to tell us about the phone is Bharat Nagpal with the iPhone XS Max.
So the iPhone XS Max is not only a size upgrade to the iPhone X, but also a major change in terms of the hardware that's inside. The iPhones this year have the most powerful chipset that is available even till the end of the year. In terms of performance, AI, AR, and even machine learning, the chipset cannot be beat even till the end of 2018. There's also another set of things that Apple has done with the new iPhones is that they've added a lot of new features to the cameras, improved the cameras considerably. Video quality has increased and improved quite a lot. But more importantly, they've also given features to the Asian countries, including dual SIM capability. But what they've done with the dual SIM capability is quite interesting. So instead of just 1 or 2 SIM cards, you can have as many SIM cards stored on your phone and then swap them out. I find this extremely useful. So I already have about 5 SIM cards on my phone. So whenever I travel to another country, for example, I can quickly swap out and I don't ever need to change the SIM on my phone ever again.
Question from audience, anybody? Okay, we'll come to you.
Since a lot of people these days spend most of their times on their mobile phones, and Apple is known for a high SAR values, more commonly known as the radiation value. So how much should we consider that while buying the phone?
Actually, in comparison to most of the other phones in the market, Apple iPhones have the lowest SAR value in terms of radiation. So if you compare any other device, especially a lot of phones from China, they have a lot higher SAR value. The iPhone, because it is sold in many countries, including European and American markets, which have stronger restrictions compared to India, the same device is sold in India, so the SAR is well under control.
So let's do a quick vote while the panel scores this. iPhone XS Max, अगर है last phone standing, तो green, अगर नहीं है, तो red. Now. Okay. I'll actually go with about 42 here. I think we'll go with a 42 on that one. So iPhone XS Max, Bharat. Now before we move on to some of the other phones that are in last phone standing, we'll do a subsection, and this is Innovation of the Year. Take a look at some of the categories.
The contenders for innovation in a smartphone of the year 2018 are in-display fingerprint scanner, water drop notch, reverse wireless charging, eSIM, innovation in optics which includes AI pop-out cameras and number of lenses.
So Deepak, what's Innovation of the Year as a feature?
I would think that computational photography overall as a feature that
Okay, so
sort of
AI
became
built
mainstream.
into optics.
Yes.
I think for me, the greatest improvement this year was that generally, like across the board, smartphones have gotten really good and powerful enough. So it is really hard to go wrong with a phone. No matter what phone that you get, it is generally good enough. Like there's really
Basically, you're saying that innovation is that the phones are now doing what they should do.
yeah, and that commoditization of hardware, that higher end internals are now available at commodity prices. So even if you have like a 12,000 rupee phone, that is actually a really good phone.
Okay.
I would also go with actually the innovations in photography. Like now you can shoot RAW from a phone, like everything that the Mate 20 Pro brings with its manual features, what Google Pixel did with Night Sight, even the AI scene recognitions, which was there in digital cameras years ago, but now it's just taken for granted on phones. So the way the camera has
the camera and optics has really made, yes, that's a good one. Okay.
I also agree that camera innovation is really taking the key, but I would purely put focus in video. Personally, we use a lot of high-end cameras, and now with the availability of good quality video on phones, we are able to use even smartphones as B cameras or B-roll, sometimes even main cameras, which was not possible even a year ago.
I think I'll also go with camera, optics, and photography and videography. The reason is that hardware and software have both improved leaps and bounds.
So I think this was a very easy one for all of them. All 5 said 2018 really was about optics and camera, where what you shot on your phone now is as good as any other optical device that you may own.
And the winner is camera and optics. And as a special, we are declaring our choice of the most innovative phone of the year, Vivo Next, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro and the Oppo R17 Pro.
The next phone is a phone that really has once again set the market on fire, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. Nikhil Chawla will tell us all about it.
So before I start, I want to clear that a flagship is not defined by its specs. If that was the case, then the OnePlus would have been the best phone or the Poco phone would have been the best phone. It's about the complete experience, and above that, what features it has added to a smartphone or the industry overall. So when I talk about this phone, it is not only a beautiful looking phone, sturdy phone, it has the best of technology that we've seen in a smartphone ever. Now we have all the flagship that have wireless charging, But this one can charge those phones wirelessly, like reverse charging. So if my iPhone is dying out of battery, I can keep on this phone and charge it wirelessly from this device. So you can believe this is a wireless power bank for you in this phone itself. Apart from that, it has beautiful cameras, 40 megapixel, 20 megapixel, and 8 megapixel. So 3 different cameras from Leica, the best in optics, giving you the best of photo quality, video quality, because you can zoom, you can take a macro shot, you can click pictures that are unbelievably true. And if I send it to people saying that I clicked it from a smartphone, they won't believe it. That good. Also, in terms of battery, it charges the phone. It has a massive 4200 mAh battery, which is the highest in a flagship. Also, apart from that, it charges in 30 minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Nikhil, questions?
So, Nikhil, you started off by saying that specs don't make a phone, but literally all you've talked about are the specifications. You've not really touched upon how bloated that interface is, how many services, Google services, they've duplicated in the same interface. I mean, from an experience point of view, it's got the specifications, sure, but it is the exact opposite what you said.
What you're saying is that I talked about just the specs. I didn't talk about the overall experience. What I'm trying to say that the specs are all there. The world's first 7 nanometer chipset, in-glass fingerprint sensor, best of cameras and everything. It's there. But it's not just that. It's above the features that it adds. It's like the desktop mode or the wireless charging, the reverse wireless charging that it offers, apart from the competition, and the fastest charging possible on a flagship device.
Okay, time now for us to vote. Let's find out if the Huawei Mate 20 Pro is the phone of the year. Tell me your votes now. Okay, nice. I'd say it's almost the same as the iPhone. So we'll give it 41. So we'll go with 41. All right, 41 for the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. Thank you very much, Nikhil. Thank you. We're doing a countdown to our best of 2018, and this time it is last phone standing with our premium edition. Still some phones to be spoken about. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. The next phone is the OnePlus 6T, specifically the purple edition, and we have the perfect person for it, Deepak Dhingra.
So the OnePlus 6T, I mean, just like every other OnePlus flagship, for me, it's like the quintessential Indian thali. It basically brings you everything, right? So you know what to expect with each iteration, and they also add a couple of pleasant surprises. And it's like an Indian thali you order from a good restaurant. So it basically satiates your hunger like nothing else can, right? You get all features and at a great value. Right from the user experience to flagship specs, great battery life, good design, and everything put together. It's not the cheapest, but heck, you can actually buy 2 of these at the cost of one of the other contenders in this list.
Perfect. Panel question.
So as you said, OnePlus has been making best of flagship devices, right? I think a flagship is not just about specs again. It lacks a lot of things that I felt that now that the price has reached around 50,000 or at least 45,000, it lacks wireless charging, it lacks IP68 certification, which is a must-have if you're spending around 50,000.
I think you have some very valid points, Nikhil. It would be really nice to have those features, wireless charging and IP68. But you can't expect pizza in a thali, right? So you have to, also look at
Food critic.
You also have to look at the price that you're paying, and some of those features are maybe not required by everyone. Wireless charging, for example.
If the OnePlus 6T is your last phone standing, tell me now. A very OnePlus 6T kind of group. That's a 50% and this one is gone completely opposite. Yeah, I'd say about 30, 35, I think, especially for the thali. I'd say about 30, maybe what, 37 then? Are you happy with 37? All right, 37 for the OnePlus 6T. Thank you very much, Deepak. Let's move on now. Dhruv, are you ready? You have your favorite phone coming up now, the Samsung Note 9.
So the Note 9 is the granddaddy of all these flagships, and it takes with it all that experience. Like they had a phone which had an exploding battery, but they've sorted that out. It's got a very
Good
highly
start to represent a phone. Yeah. Most people had forgotten about it. Yeah, sure.
It's got a very highly distilled experience. It does everything, and it does it all in a good way. And I think that's where the Note 9's strength lies. It's also got one feature which literally no other phone has, and that's the stylus. And once you get used to it, it is actually really, really cool. I did not think that I would love it so much, but it is a very nice feature to have. It has wireless charging. It's got the DeX mode as well, so you can use it like a computer. It does everything, and it does it in a very nice way. And if there are people who complain about the Samsung interface, but then there's the new One UI which is coming to the Note 9, which is absolutely fantastic.
Okay, great. Panel, questions?
So you talk about the stylus, lovingly called the S Pen. There's a lot of reason that you like it, but if you look at it, everything that you can do with the S Pen, you can now technically do with your finger. And that's why most other companies have not really looked at the stylus, even though LG tried to put a stylus phone, they eventually let go of it. Because people really don't use the S Pen. Even Samsung Note owners eventually end up not using the S Pen.
That part, I don't know, like it's a mixed bag for sure. But then you can do a lot of the functionality with your finger, but you can't get pressure sensitivity with your finger. Not to that degree.
Samsung Note 9, if that is for you the phone of the year 2018, green, otherwise red. Now, decent is right. You got good numbers there. Okay here. Okay here also, not bad. Okay, 39 for the Samsung Note 9. Thank you. Nikhil, we're going to do one more now, a subsection, and this is to do with mid-price segment, because this became, I think, one of the killer areas where a lot of companies started to concentrate, even companies that did not play in this category before. So you have many, many options out here. We're going from about 20,000 rupees, but also including the iPhone XR. So the range is actually, because for Apple, that's a mid-priced phone.
The contenders for the mid-segment phone of the year are LG G7 Plus ThinQ, Vivo Next, OnePlus 6T, iPhone XR, Nokia 8.1, Samsung A9, Oppo R17 Pro.
Which one would be your phone of the year?
I think I will go with the Nokia 8.1 that recently launched. It's got a beautiful, it's a beautiful device. The hardware is really good. The cameras are good. It's like a perfect amalgamation of software and hardware. The best you can get in that kind of money.
So even though my logical choice would have been the iPhone XR, I would say that the OnePlus 6T is actually a pretty fantastic phone.
I actually agree with Bharat. It is the OnePlus 6T, but instead of his Pixel analogy, it is a good replacement for the Nexus, which was Google's original budget flagship kind of a phone. So it has the same.
The OnePlus 6T wins it for you.
I'm really tempted to go for the OnePlus. That is a really good phone, but I would choose the Nokia 8.1.
Rajiv, I think you have your winner.
Okay.
And that winner is OnePlus 6T.
OnePlus 6T it is. So mid-price segment में the winner, and I think a very, very deserving winner is the OnePlus 6T Consa version. McLaren ho या Thunder Purple ho या उनका starter edition ho, whichever one it is, that is the final winner.
And the winner is OnePlus 6T. And our choice is Samsung A9, Oppo R17 Pro, and the Vivo Next.
Now, I wish I could actually say that we script these, but this is better than fiction. Once again, right at the top, we have a tie. So therefore, all of you will vote for it again. But the three that are taking up the bottom, which still is the best three phones otherwise, is the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, the Google Pixel 3 XL, and the OnePlus 6T. Now, we did not think that these would make it right to the top. Huawei Mate 20 Pro and iPhone XS Max are right at the top, and there's a huge difference in the scoring this time between the iPhone XS Max and the Huawei Mate 20 Pro.
The iPhone.
The iPhone it is for
The
iPhone. Deepak, is it a 3-1 or a 2-1?
It's a 2-1.
It's a 2-1, so for you it's the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. So very, very close, but finally we've got it in our hand. The winner of Last Phone Standing Premium Edition is Bharat Nagpal with his iPhone XS Max. Right next to it, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. Those are the winners. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for choosing the phones. Thank you to the panel. Thank you to the audience. It was an absolutely wonderful show. Thank you.